my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all its beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning that turns into a beautiful evening, and together make a beautiful life. And if you wanna
I've been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so...
It's a dirty showroom.
Well, it's clean dirt.
Forgive me, but the best restaurants of the world are here in Vegas. I mean, you have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrities here. The Harley Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here, and Britney Spears came over here like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will.
Oh. That's so Vegas. Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar. I'm here at the fantastic WCOBM studio right off of Las Vegas Boulevard South. I have a wonderful guest today. Hello, Chef Phillip Dell.
Hi, Christine. How you doing?
I'm very well, and you're even weller because you're in such good shape.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't always feel it, but you know.
Yeah, but you certainly are, and we go way back.
We do.
We have a special edition of the show today because at the end of this segment, we're going to show about a 5-minute clip from 6 years ago when we first met.
Right.
And I had first launched VegasOnlyEntertainment.com, which I launched as Vegas Salon. Nobody got it. No, obviously I don't do hair. But in those days, it was the salon art, you know, intellect and food. And you were so gracious to allow us to film you because I was doing the little 3 to 5 minute vignettes.
Right.
Followed by little hard copy stories. So we were out at a good friend Barbara's house, and you made a fabulous dinner. But instead of commercials today, we're treating you because he's a chef. And so don't go away as we go into break. You'll get to watch that video, and it's really kind of fun. There's another one, too, we'll show later. I'm not sure which one is more risque, but one is kind of risque for fun. Now, looking at you sitting here, and you're so buff and everything, I know that you have a tremendous story to share with the viewers because there was something in your life that personally propelled you to lose weight, get fit, and then share that with other people. So you want to tell us a little bit of the backstory?
Absolutely. You know,
Okay.
I grew up in the Midwest. Being a kid, you know, I ate a lot of junk food.
We all
I'm
did.
a junk food eater, and then I became a chef. And chefs have a hard life. You know, we're out late at night or whatever, and then we go home and we have chicken wings or pizza or whatever. And the problem is that I was doing that way too much, and I was very obese. When I moved to Vegas 12 years ago, I had a 44-inch waist and at least 36% body fat.
36%?
Which, that's deadly. I mean,
Yes.
it's very, very bad. The joke when I was a kid was that you'll either be bald or dead by the time you were 30.
Ugh.
And I woke up one morning, took a shower, opened up the shower curtain, and I don't know about you, but why do they put mirrors
I know
directly in front of where the shower curtain is? Does anybody want to look at that? I don't know.
We should look into that.
Right.
It is becoming more disturbing to me every year, but carry on.
Right?
Yes.
So I opened up the curtain one day and saw fat rolls going over my knees. And I was like, you know
Wow.
what? And that's hypothetically. So, I was like, that's disgusting. And I stopped all of my bad habits right away. I stopped drinking Coca-Cola. I stopped eating all processed foods.
Wow.
Everything. I went all natural completely. So if it didn't grow naturally, I didn't eat it. If it was processed, I wouldn't eat it. And if it was a soda, I wouldn't drink it.
Yes, I'm not a soda drinker, and I never have been. But wasn't that kind of difficult when you're in kitchens all the time? And of course, when you're serving food for the general public in a restaurant, you want to give them all the butter and all the
Sure.
flavor enhancements. So, could you just block that off in the kitchen at work, and then just at home? That's where you got your nutritional.
Well, basically, I set in my head that I was going to change my life, and so no matter what it took, I would do it. And so I prepared myself every day before I went into work. And when I was at work, I still wouldn't drink soda. I would drink just water. And when I had to taste things at work, Wine tasters have this method where they sip and then they swish and then they spit.
Right.
It's not too appealing when you do that with food, but I would do my best at that.
Right.
Would not consume the food that I was actually preparing for customers. I know that sounded weird, but there was really no reason for me to. I have been blessed in my life to have instincts of knowing how much seasoning needs to go into something.
Yes.
It blows the minds of especially my wife, but definitely friends, family, clients, you name it. But I'm able to do that without actually tasting the food. And so I was able to do it and not have to worry about it.
That's really interesting that you could do that, because that's got to be such a temptation. The thing about the sodas and stuff, they're just deadly. I know that.
Well, they have carbon in them, and your body,
Sodium, too.
as you breathe, you're expounding,
Expelling the
expelling the carbon. And so, why do you want to take it back in? Every time you take it back in, you're actually deteriorating your bone structure. So, once I got rid of that, I used to drink no less than a case of Coca-Cola a day.
Holy cow.
And that did not include what I got at Burger King.
Oh, yeah, the fast food.
I would get a small and drink probably 6 of them before I left, and then I would fill it up again, and then I was out the door, and then I would drink some more Coca-Cola at home.
Did you substitute the caffeine in that with coffee or anything? Do you drink coffee?
Well, that was on top of coffee.
Oh, gosh. And yet you were still overweight.
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Now, on top of not only cutting back on those bad habits, and those are really difficult ones. If I had to quit drinking coffee today, I know I'd go through withdrawals. I didn't have the soda affliction,
Right.
but you also didn't just rely on that. You started working out and throwing exercise into the regimen. And can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, I didn't. I lost 65 pounds before I even touched a weight.
Amazing. How long did that take?
The 65 pounds? I don't know exactly. What I know is that it took about 17 months to lose 92 pounds and 30% body fat.
Okay, but that's good, because they say if you lose it slower, it doesn't come back as fast.
Correct. Exactly.
And so then you started going to the gym. You lift weights, don't you?
I do. I was actually tricked. The story is kind of funny. I was tricked into going to the gym for the first time. The bad part is the people that need to go to the gym don't go.
True.
You think, I don't, it's a self-conscious thing. Okay. So a friend of mine said, he showed up literally on my front doorstep. He said, we're going out. So we went out, right? Well, the gym was just opening down the road, and he pulls in, and I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, I got a gym bag in the back for you. Don't worry, you're all good. You're going to go in the gym with me. And I'm going, you're a jerk. Well, I got...
Actually, a good friend.
Right,
yes.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't know that at the time.
Right.
I was still self-conscious about my body and
Of course.
whatever.
After carrying that weight around.
Once I went there, and some of the trainers actually latched onto me because they knew I was a chef, and they knew that I was transforming my foods to healthier versions.
That's interesting.
And they started getting on top of me for like meal plans and things like that, and helping other people do the same thing.
So you were synergistically working together.
Correct.
Right, and in the process, we'll talk about this too in more segments. So you did the weight loss of the mirror shock, which can do
Right.
it to people, and cut out all the bad things, and then you began to do the bodybuilding. But also, you were also morphing into how could you help other people
Correct.
transform.
Well, the biggest thing of all of it was that when I started to lose the weight, I was feeling so much better. And I remember passing a security guard at work. At the time, I was working for the Wynn.
Right.
As a pastry chef. And I passed the security guard, and she goes, I never knew you had blue eyes. And I said, well, how does that? She goes, well, you had never had your eyes open before.
Oh, the puffies.
Right.
Oh, marshmallow eyes.
So, and the better I was eating, the more water I was drinking, the brighter
Your eyes
my
became.
eyes became, and my skin became clearer and everything.
Yeah, because you are a picture of radiant health, and I love it. I never knew you when you were heavy. But, I've only known this, but I have seen pictures.
Right.
And we'll talk about that in a little bit. I want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor, the Red Roof Inn on Paradise across from the Hard Rock. They're pet friendly, no parking, no resort fees. Don't go away. Watch the clip that's going to follow this segment, and we'll be back after that clip. See you in a minute. Hi foodies, this is Christine McKellar with VegasOnlySalon.com. Tonight we're in a private home the kitchen, obviously, and we're with Chef Phillip Dell with Sin City Chefs, are we not? Chef Dell's preparing a meal tonight with highly delicious but low in fat, or is it calories?
It's well balanced. It's healthy fats, healthy carbohydrates, and lean proteins.
And this is part of what we would call your transformation diet. Chef Dell found himself a little heavy one day and decided that he wanted to thin down, and you lost how many pounds?
92 total and lost approximately 30% body fat.
He's incorporated his ideals in the process into his cooking. So tonight on the menu, what do we have?
We have a pork tenderloin with ginger, garlic, and soy. We're going to do a sesame multigrain pasta with julienne Asian vegetables.
Yeah.
And a peanut sauce is accompanied with the pork tenderloin. It's fantastic.
Okay, and these are your ingredients?
Just a few of them.
What do you have here in this bowl?
This is the ginger, garlic, soy marinade for the pork, and then we've also got a little dish of it for basting that we're going to put over it as we're cooking it, so it glazes.
We're here in the secondary stages. Chefs created some fabulous marinade sauces, sesame noodles with raw vegetable, which I think sounds fabulous for the crunch, and then he has a marinade. And what are we doing here, Chef?
We're searing out the pork tenderloin, and we'll finish roasting that in the oven. And then we're taking some of the reserved marinade that we didn't marinate with the pork, and we just add a little bit more honey to it. We're going to reduce that down into a glaze. We're going to take this amount, it'll be about half this amount by the time we're done with it, and glaze the top of it as it's finished cooking, and let it rest for about 10 minutes, and it'll be perfect.
Oh, that sounds lovely. So what is the estimated roasting time for that once you get it in the oven?
I have the oven set at 425 degrees, probably no more than 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a misconception about the whole searing process and searing the juices. It actually has been proven that you lose juices by doing that. More of a flavor and more of a color setter.
Oh, okay. Do you use paprika to bring out the color on the top?
I do on some of my items, just not in this particular recipe.
So here we are with the finished product. Chefs put together an incredible array. We have the pork tenderloin with your reduction, and the crispy
noodle salad.
And our hostess provided cucumbers with pickled ginger. And then you have the glaze on top, which looks divine.
Correct.
And a little garnish. So on that. In closing, after this fabulous meal, which you can see we diminished greatly the amount of pasta and pork here. It was fantastic. I actually had 2 helpings, but we're not going to talk about that. You have a talk show, or you're on a radio talk show?
Yes, it's A Lifestyle Revolution on KKVV AM 1060. Airs on Mondays at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
And they play it periodically throughout the week as well.
Thoroughly enjoyed this evening with you, and the food was very satisfying, I have to say. I think I like particularly how you put the combination of vegetables. You never felt like you were stumbling into one thing. It all blended well. There was a crunchy appeal. I personally never thought I cared for cold pasta, but I had 2 helpings of that. So, and the pork was
and
divine.
those are one of those pasta dishes that gets better with age.
Good. Can I take some home?
That's not
Hostess.
up to me.
Hostess. Absolutely. I'm going to take some home. Thank you so much. This is Chef Phillip Dell, Christina Keller for VegasOnlySalon.com.